Today we are going to talk about who would it take trying to talk you into going on a cruise. The next thing, what to do about your prescriptions on a cruise, especially on a longer cruise. And finally, why we cruise. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Wednesday. It's June 28th of 2023, and I want to start off with a really interesting question. Who would it take out of everyone who's famous or not famous that you would listen to if they are trying to talk you into going on a cruise? Well, Virgin Voyage has this new thing that they are doing with JLo. They have had partnerships with JLo in the past, but they have this new AI system, artificial intelligence system, that enables guests to create a custom invite, including JLo, Jennifer Lopez, to share with their friends and their family, anyone that they are trying to talk into going on a cruise with them. So as I read that, I first thought how interesting that is, but then I got to thinking, how fun would it be if we all put below who we would like a message from to encourage us to go on a cruise. And you can put whoever you want. It can be someone famous. It can be your mom, your best friend, anything like that. I thought it would be really fun to think about because you know what? I think it's just around the corner that people are going to be able to use that artificial intelligence to generate an invitation to someone unlike any that we have ever been able to do before. And I know some of us want to encourage someone to go on a cruise with us for lots of reasons. Maybe a family member has never wanted to go. I remember when my sister and her husband invited Gordon and I to come with them. They had mentioned cruising before and I was firmly no. And so finally we went back in 2014 and I am so grateful ever since. I still owe her a huge debt of gratitude for encouraging us to go. And so yeah, who would you like to have an invite from that would encourage you to go on a cruise or do something that you haven't done before? Now, the next thing I think it's really important for us to talk about because two things. This discussion started over on our Facebook group, but also Gordon and I have been talking about it in our own personal life as we prepare to go on trips of different length and cruises and everything. So the question comes up about how to manage your prescriptions. So if you have prescription medication that you need to take and you are going to go on a much longer cruise, how do you manage that? So there are a few different things that I thought it would maybe help you to know to think about and maybe inform what you do to manage these things. Of course, the longest that we would think about would be like a world cruise because those are like, close to 6 months long and, well, not quite 6 months. I guess some of them can be that long, but anyway, they are much longer than what we are used to, like definitely 4 months. And so when we start off thinking about prescriptions, one thing that Gordon and I always do is I refill our prescriptions for just medicine that we've taken for such a long time. And you're going to need it coming. As soon as it's available for a refill with our insurance, I refill it. So every time we end up with a couple of extra pills, and I save those so that if ever we are gone on a trip and we're not going to be home when it is time for something to be filled, then we've still got extras, and it makes it so that that's easily managed. Another thing to think about is this day and age, a lot of times insurances will let you get a refill on a prescription for more than 30 days. I'm guessing you already know that, but a lot of times you can get it up to like 90 days, and then that gives you a lot more wiggle room with when you have to be right at home to get those refills as well. I know that it's easier when you're traveling around the United States, perhaps, at least it is with our insurance, that you can get refills at certain places, even if you're not in your own state. But when you are traveling abroad, that's a whole different thing. So think about doing things like that. And also, if you are going to be gone for longer and you don't have enough extra medicine that you've saved up from doing that, or it's really not an option with what you've got, definitely talk to your pharmacy and to your insurance company. Let them know why you need to have that extra insurance. And my understanding is that they will usually work with you. I've called before and asked for something like that, and they have been really good and worked with us on it to be able to get extra medicine, to tide us over until we get home. So that's an option. And then in the very least, at the pharmacy, you could, as long as you've got a prescription for a medication here in the US, you can cash pay. And depending, of course, what the drug is, sometimes that's really affordable and sometimes it's really not. But that's always an option if you really need it. Also, remember that when you're on a cruise ship, they do have a pharmacy in association with a medical center. And I know this because people have mentioned to me before, and I've seen firsthand. One day we got on the elevator there, right by the medical center on Princess, and there was this lady, and she had several bottles of medication, and she said, I accidentally left all of my medicine at home, and so I got everything that I needed here. So don't forget that list that I talked about the other day with documents we always take with us when we cruise. Take a list of the medication you take, how often you take it, how many milligrams or whatever it is. A lot of people advocate, and I think it's a great idea, take a picture of your pill bottle so then you don't make any mistakes with what the medicine is. But a lot of times they're able to get those for you on the cruise ship. But at the same time, I don't know how well those are covered. I don't know how, if you just have to cash pay for that. I don't know how that works. So if any of you have had to do that, can you share your experience with it? We would appreciate hearing from you. And then this last thing that Gordon and I are starting off. So when we went on our river cruise, I always take extra prescription medication with us, just always. And we historically have each always taken our own medicine. We know what we take and it works just fine. But on this last one, I always take a bottle I just put all the kinds I take in the bottle, and then I take an extra bottle with me. Well, somehow I lost the one bottle. I kind of wonder if I'm worried I lost it on the bus ride that took us from Munich down to get on the river cruise. That's where I'm thinking I maybe lost it, because that night I couldn't find it, but I had it that morning to take my medicine. And so from now on, I am going to put enough medicine into a separate bottle, the prescription medicine that I need, and I'm going to give an extra one to Gordon, and he's going to put it in his, and he is going to give me a bottle that has extra for him. And so if one of us loses one, then the other one has the medicine. So that's just something that we're going to start doing. Hopefully it will never happen again. With all of the traveling we have done thus far, I have never lost it before. But on that trip, I lost it. So there's something to think of. And I'm sure, I would think you would all know this, but if you don't, never put your prescription medicine or even over-the-counter medicine that's really important that you know that you need, don't put that in your check luggage. Always keep it in your carry-on with you. That is one of the things that is in my bag that I always carry on the cruise ship that day. I don't even trust it. If they're taking my luggage when we check in there at the port and they'll show it, they'll bring it to our cabin, I don't even trust our prescription medicine to that. I make sure that it is in our individual bags. So if any of you have any other tips to do with that, please put it below, because it helps all of us think through everything and be really well prepared. Now, since today it's a little bit of a slow news day, but I also have been thinking a lot about why we cruise, what it is that compels Gordon and I to keep booking more cruises. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about why we cruise, because sometimes we have people here on our channel and we are delighted to have you. Please stick with us if you have never been on a cruise, or if you don't really know why people would choose to go on a cruise. And so first of all, let me invite you all to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please do. We need to have you with us, and I think you would enjoy being here with us. So first of all, there seem to be some probably pretty obvious things about why people cruise. It would be because you get to go on the ocean, and indeed, Gordon and I love sailing the ocean blue. There is something extra special about being on the water and getting to see the ocean and just everything that goes with being on a cruise ship in the ocean. It's a very special experience. And I know the other reason that we really like to go is because we have such a fun time together. It doesn't seem to matter where we're going on a cruise to. We always choose the destination, of course, but we always have such a nice time together, and it gives us a little bit more extra time together than we have at home because we're both so busy, but it also gives us individually a little bit more time to do some of the things we enjoy, like read a book or even just sitting on the balcony and enjoying the view of the ocean. We just thoroughly enjoy that. Another thing to consider, though, when you think of going on a cruise is a lovely way to travel. You get to go to see the ports of the places that you have chosen to go. It's a beautiful way to see the world, whether you're in the Caribbean or if you're in Norway or if you're in Asia. No matter where it is you're going, it is a lovely way to travel. You get to be on the ship and enjoy everything that the ship has to offer. When you're in port, you get off, you go see everything, you come back, your cabin is nicely freshened by your room steward, you get to have a lovely dinner, there's entertainment, you can have time to enjoy a book rather than, getting back, picking up your luggage and traveling the next day overnight on a train or a plane or however, or driving a car to get to the next place that you want to visit. It's just a lovely way to travel. And often I would submit that a lot of times, especially when you look at more of the mass market cruise lines, which is generally what we sail on, and the ones that are a little, generally Princess and Celebrity are considered the luxury of the mass market cruise lines. But there is generally more affordable as a general rule than it would be to fly into a location and then to book a hotel in each place and pay for your food, pay for your rental car or your train tickets, whatever mode of transportation you would choose. It is generally cheaper to travel on a cruise ship than it is to pay for all of those things individually. And like I said, someone does the traveling for you. They sail the ship for you, and then you arrive in the new place. Another reason we really like it is truly we have been to places that we never thought we would get to go. And indeed, I don't think we would go if we did not go on a cruise ship. So it really opens up the world in a rather grand way. If you decide to try out a cruise. If you think of going to all the different Caribbean islands that you would go to when you were on a cruise, that would be much harder to navigate and much more expensive. And who would think to go to all of these little places and see all the magical things that you get to see? Another thing we love about cruising is we get to meet new people on the ship. We get to meet new people in the port and experience new cultures. To me, that makes my whole life richer. It informs my view of the world, it expands my horizons, and it really, in the long run, turns me into a different person. I know that I'm a different person than I would be if I had never traveled and had never been to see so many places in the world. It really makes me a better world citizen. It makes me better as a person. And so those are the main reasons that I travel. And then finally, in addition to being a lovely way to travel and more affordable, it is just super convenient. You can fit more of Greece and Italy into a cruise more easily, I think, than you can if you just went and tried to drive to all those locations. You would spend so much time trying to fly or drive or take ferries between all of these locations, and that's true for a lot of the world. It really makes your vacation days count. Now, if you want to go somewhere and spend like a week in a single place, then oh heavens yes, fly in there and rent a car, take a bus, a train, whatever it is, and get to where you want to immerse yourself in. Absolutely. But if you have never cruised, I think you would be surprised at how much you can immerse yourself in a day in a lot of these locations. You get off the ship and you either can go on a tour or go off on your own, and it is really remarkable the things that you can see, the people that you can meet, and what you can experience in one port day. And I do advocate booking with a cruise line that does have nice long port days so that you have plenty of time to see everything. But so if you have got any questions about places to go on a cruise, I've got lots of really good ideas, and or anything else, any other questions about cruising, put them below and we would be delighted to answer for you. So the last thing we're going to wind up with here is it sounds like cruises are still overbooked. We've got a Let's Go family member just posted over on our Facebook group. So if you do Facebook and you haven't joined us at Let's Go Travel Tips, come and join us. They are booked on the July 1st sailing of the Royal Princess out of Seattle to Alaska. And they just today got an offer to move over to another sailing. And in return for that, they would receive their whole cruise fare for this cruise, for the July 1st cruise. They will receive that on the next cruise that they would move to. So you get to choose which cruise you want to move to from what they offer. You would get that cruise fare added as onboard credit on that cruise, and whatever you don't spend is refundable. So at the end, they will mail you a check. So clearly they're overbooked. I think this is a really hard time to have people move over from these Alaskan cruises, simply because we've got so many people that travel with families at this time of year, and they are also traveling either because children are out of school, they've planned their whole summer vacation around this one event. So it's probably a little bit harder to get people to move. This Let's Go family member mentioned that that he is going on a casino offer, and they were already at the airport boarding to board their plane to fly to Seattle. So they probably won't take it, because not only are they en route, but also the amount that they paid is really not very much. They wouldn't get that much back in order to move to another cruise. So that makes perfect sense to me. I'm a little surprised, the cruise lines choose which sailings they want to give people casino offers on. So I wonder and how much they want to make available. So my guess is that the cruises to Alaska have sold a little bit better than Princess anticipated, and I'm guessing maybe some other cruise lines as well, because they are now asking people to move over, whereas before they were offering casino offers to try to get people on board. So let me know. I think it would be really fun to hear how many of you tell us if you wouldn't mind. We'd love to hear how many of you have got a casino offer cruise you're going on soon, and if you would move over if they gave you that offer. So let us know. And if you're on a cruise right now, or you've recently been on a cruise, please do let us know how it's going. We would love to hear from all of you. And if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.